Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today for this video I am going to be giving all the tips and tricks and hacks about college, and basically I'm going to be exposing college. So stay tuned, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and we will get right in with the video because I hate long intros. Number one on my list is how do I get my car on campus? So if you are going to a school and they're like, oh, freshmen can't have a car, but you had your car since you was 16, I'm gonna tell you what you gotta do. So I went to Lake Forest College and freshmen couldn't have cars. So basically what I had to do was like file for an appeal. So what you gotta do is get a letter from your job saying like, okay, this only works if like you need a job, you know, or like, I guess doctor's appointments or like some medical issue, but you need like, you know, a reason behind this. So what I did was I got a letter from my job, aka I typed a letter and put my job's letterhead on it and said like I have to work at least once a week if I want to keep my job, and my job was the way that I was paying for school. So I did that, and then I had the manager sign it, and I gave it to the public safety people, whoever I gave the appeal to. I feel like it only works if you don't work at a large corporation like Target or Walmart, where they have like rules and regulations. I worked at a shoe store and I was really close with the managers and stuff, so they were like, cool, no problem, we'll forge this letter for you. So that's basically how you can, you know, kind of get your car on campus. You just need a reason, and then you have to be able to kind of back that reason up. Number two on my list of exposing college is kind of in addition to number one, or in replacement of number one. You can also get a bike. So the school I went to, we had a north, middle, and south campus, but it really wasn't that big. It was like a medium to small school. But you want to get a bike, and first you want to make sure that your bike is very distinct from the other people on campus, because I went to the library, or the lib as college kids call it. I went there at like 12 o'clock trying to finish this paper that was due the next morning, and somebody stole my bike. Like, I didn't lock it up, but it was also like, you know, 12 o'clock or whatever. So I found it on South Campus at one of the dorms. I did the whole night. Like, I called the police department like, look, somebody stole my bike and I don't play that, baby. So get you a bike, make sure it's very distinct. But it also helps to get around campus, like, because you're not going to want to walk. You're not going to want to walk a 10-minute walk to go to class. You're not. So just get a bike. Also, another tip for when you have a bike, get a plastic bag or something to cover the seat of your bike, just in case you go to class and it's raining, so that your seat isn't wet or hot or whatever. Yeah, get a bike. Okay, number three on the list is how do I get a microwave or a toaster? Like, what am I going to eat in my dorm? You can't have a separate microwave that's like separate from your refrigerator. You have to get the ones that come together. So, but I didn't want to get that because the refrigerator was smaller and the microwave was smaller. So first they're going to tell you, oh, your refrigerator has to be 7.2 cubic feet, whatever. When you get there, ain't nobody measuring. Ain't nobody measuring. Like, my RA was my like neighbor. Ain't nobody measuring how big your refrigerator is. It just can't be one of them big old tall, you know, it has to be like a college refrigerator, but you know, nobody is measuring how big your refrigerator is. But what you want to do is look up like how they look, how the refrigerator microwave units look, and then once you move in, go to Walmart, get you one of them $20 microwaves and put it on top of your refrigerator, and it looked like it came together, because that's what I did for mine. But when you have like these inspections, so when your RA comes to inspect your room, make sure like you don't have no animals in there or whatever, just put a blanket on top of your microwave and put something on top of there, and they ain't gonna think nothing of it. So that's what I did. That's how I got my microwave. And I got like a $10 toaster from Walmart. All I did was when I wanted to toast something, I just bring it out and then boom, put it back in the closet or whatever. And that's how you get around that. Like, nobody is like in your room 24/7, like, you know, checking for your stuff. So it's okay to bend the rules a little bit. Like, nobody cares, but nobody is like checking for it. Number 4 on my list is to loft your bed. So if you don't know, a lofted bed is one of those beds that's like the top part of a bunk bed and it's open on the bottom. So a lot of people will put like a futon or something on the bottom. What I did, I had to buy my loft from the school, which was okay. I got the one that they have, like a regular loft, and then they have one that comes with a small ass little shelf. And like, it's like $20 more for the little shelf, but I mean, if you want to do it, you can. Like, it don't really matter. But the only thing you got to worry about is like if you in bed and you want to charge your like computer or your phone or whatever, you got to get like a long charger. But if you loft your bed, do not put a futon under there. Put either your desk or your dresser, if you have a dresser, put that under your loft, and then you can get like a little TV stand or one of those cube storage organizers. Put that under your loft, because that's still like your space. And then you can still have like your other side of the room to put like whatever else you want. It's really a good way to optimize space. But what I did was I had my loft, and then my roommate put her bed under mine with her desk. So basically we had like a huge open area. We had like a wannabe living room with the TV and the games set up and things like that. So that's also a good thing to get a loft. The only thing is you need to find somewhere to put the bed frames. So put them in the closet. I don't know. You can't leave it in the hallway, because then they're gonna try to fine you for that. Okay, number 5 on my list is, you know, you go tour your college and, you know, they show you this nice big dorm or whatever, but you get there like me and your dorm is literally the size of a closet. Like, if I did not have a loft, there would be no space to put all of the stuff that I brought. And I live in Chicago, so the school that I went to was only an hour away. So it's not like, you know, oh, if this doesn't fit, you know, I can't take it back home. I could, but, you know, I just put everything in there. Just threw literally everything under my bed because I had a loft, and it was just like so crowded, and it was just like, you know, just ugh. So I was on the 3rd floor, which was the highest floor in my building, and my building was built in 1908. So, you know, it was very old and it stink in there. And I was in the bed and it was like centipedes on the ceiling. So I sent a little email to the people and I was like, look, there's no room for me to be on my bed and sit up. And there's also bugs on the ceiling. Like, I literally, like, if you want to change dorms because your dorm is too small, you literally have to go over the top. I said, there's bugs on the ceiling. A bug fell on my bed. I'm not paying $55,000 a year to be sleeping with centipedes. Like, you need to change my room right now. And they did. So with that, like, make sure, like, if you want to move in the same building, make sure you know, like, the floors that have like the bigger rooms. So I moved from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor, and I knew that the 2nd floor room that I chose was right in front of the door where you enter the building. Like, when you come up the steps, it was right in front of there. I knew how big it was because somebody showed me like how big the room was. And also, I didn't know the girl in there. Like, I tried to like say, hey, I'm going to be choosing this room, but the girl that was in there like lived close by, so she was barely there. And then she saw I moved in there, and then I had the room, you know, by myself for a little bit until somebody else moved up in there. You know, it's just the whole thing. So just make sure you know like what rooms is big and vacant and things like that. So you can switch your dorm. Don't let them lie to you. Also, let's say you know you're in your dorm and your roommate moves out, or you never had a roommate. there's still a possibility that somebody can like choose to move in your room, which is what happened to me, or you can buy out your room vacancy. But to do that, it's $500 just to buy out the vacancy in your room. I mean, if you really don't like people, I guess that's what you want to do. But then it's just, you know, like, honestly, I didn't do it because I lived an hour away. I came home every weekend because it was so boring. So that's what I did. I had a roommate. Number 6 is, this is only like kind of if you live within a reasonable traveling distance to from your school to your house. So if that's like a train or car, but it's not really like plane if you go to school in New York and you're from California. So what I recommend is take only the seasonal clothes the first time you go to school. So you know, you go to school in August, and then you have August, then like September, and then like a little bit of October. So it depends on, you know, when the first time you plan on going home is, and where is home. So I took a lot of clothes, basically all my clothes with me, and I had to stuff them like in my drawers and find a place for my clothes to go. And I was like, look, I'm not even wearing my winter clothes right now. So I took my winter clothes back home, and I just had my summer clothes in school. And once I noticed that it was starting to get cold and I couldn't really wear shorts to class or whatever, then that's when I took all my summer clothes back home and I came back with my winter clothes. Now you can probably do this if, you know, you have like a luggage and you take Southwest where you can just bring however many bags. Like that's probably cool, but just like don't bring like a whole bunch of winter clothes mixed with summer clothes and you can't really take them home, because you need, you know, you might buy stuff or whatever, you just need like extra place to put all of your shit basically. Number 7 on my list deals with classes. 1, find out what classes you want to take. Okay, you have the list of classes you want to take. Look up where those classes are. So I know that I was not about to walk. I lived in the middle campus. I know that I was not about to walk to South Campus to go take a 50-minute class. I was just not doing that, because like I like to take early classes, and I know I'm not gonna wake up and wanna, you know, walk 20 minutes just to go take a class. So on middle campus, we did have like a few buildings that you can take your classes in. So that's what I did. My dorm was here and my classes were here. So all I did was jaywalk across the quad and take my class. But if you have a bike, it's probably, you know, okay to you know, bike back and forth. That's what a lot of people do, just bike to their classes. Make sure you buy a lock so don't nobody steal your bike, and take your classes that way. So another thing with taking classes is, if you're at a school and let's say, you know, you got a decent scholarship, like you're able to afford it every year, and you plan on graduating from there, you know, just take whatever classes you want to take. But if you're like me and you went there because they gave you the most money, but you didn't really get accepted into a school that you really wanted to go to, then only take the gen ed classes. Like you have to take English 101 or whatever before you can take any other class. So take those classes first, and if you want to take an elective, take the most basic thing, because if you're like me, once again, and you want to transfer, like how I transferred to Florida, you want to make sure that those classes are able to transfer so that you don't have to basically start over or whatever. So the school I went to, we had to take dumb classes like freshman studies, whatever. That class is pointless and it don't transfer nowhere. So I literally took like 3 pointless classes that didn't even transfer as electives to Florida or back here to Illinois where I got my associate's degree. So take basic classes. English, literally my math class did not transfer, and I'm just like, why? Just it's literally so dumb. So literally take, like, if you're feeling like, oh, I'm probably not going to graduate here, take classes that you know might transfer somewhere else. Also, my advisor was shit. I'm sorry, Professor Yale, you were shit. I'm sorry. Let's see. Also with classes, make sure that it's not like high school where, oh, you know, you take a few classes and then you go to lunch and then your other classes resume. It's up to you to schedule your classes around whatever else you have going on. So if you know you get hungry at 12 o'clock, take 1 or 2 classes in the morning where the latest one is over at 11:30, and then go to lunch. And then if you get the itis after lunch, you might want to schedule your next class at 3 o'clock. And then that way, you know, your last class is done at 3 o'clock. Normally you might have like 2 classes a day, like Monday, Wednesday, and then like Tuesday and Thursday. But also make sure schedule your classes early so that they're done early in case you want to get a job or whatever. Like I worked at Target and I started like my last class was over at like 2, but I didn't start till like 4, and I just worked until, you know, whenever. Target was very flexible with their scheduling. That was my favorite job, but them bitches put me as non-rehirable. So anyway, the most important thing, if you don't take away anything about like this section, if you take a 50-minute class, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the classes are 50 minutes long. Your midterm and your final exam are going to be 50 minutes long. So if you're taking a class and you're really struggling, like I took whatever math class, the teacher literally, like, she was an older woman. I'm not gonna talk about it because she died, but like literally she hand wrote the test, and I was literally sitting there trying to figure out like what she was writing, but the class was only 50 minutes long, and they're not gonna say, oh hey, we know the class is 50 minutes long, here, take 2 days to take your exam. No, your final exam, your midterm, like your regular exams, they're gonna be 50 minutes long. And I never finished my tests, and I failed the class, and I passed. So that's another thing to be mindful of. So number 8 goes back to planning your day around your jobs. So you get your financial aid letter. Okay, you look at your financial aid letter. You have scholarships, blah blah blah. Then it says work study. It might say $1,500, $2,000. Let me tell you how work study is a joke. Like it's listed like under the scholarship section, but it's not money that they just give you. They don't give you like, oh, we're gonna give you $1,000 and we'll break it up over 6 months so you'll get X amount per month. No, that's the maximum amount that you can earn from work study that pays the federal minimum wage. So in Chicago, the minimum wage is $13. The federal minimum wage is like $7.25. So this is before I was working at Target. The work study job paid $7.25 an hour. They didn't take out taxes or anything, but you can only work a certain number of hours per week, and like you can't really save or buy anything working like 2 hours every week like with the work study job. So forget the work study, just go get a regular job somewhere like that's very flexible in their scheduling for college students in the area. Like a lot of grocery stores, like Dunkin' Donuts, like coffee shops, they understand that like college kids in the area need a job. So number 9 on my list is order your books after your first class. 9 times out of 10 you're only going over the syllabus the first day of class, and then they'll say, hey, like a lot of professors understand if you don't have your books or whatever, especially like for freshmen. Do not buy your books brand new or used or whatever from your school bookstore. Use that as the last resort. That is like paying $500 for a Louis Vuitton purse in Illinois or whatever, and you have a trip to Italy next week where you can pay like $200 for literally the same thing. Like, I know my analogy is off, but there's literally so many sites like Check, Amazon, Those are the only two I use. But like literally buy your books off of there, and it's free shipping and everything. They send it to your school, so you don't have to have an issue with, oh, how am I going to pick up my books? Literally buy it off of there. They send you the label to send it back and everything. Do not buy it from your school bookstore, because your school is not for you. They are against you. They want your money. They are money hungry people. So buy your books from Chegg or whatever, like first, before you buy. And then half the time you don't even need the book for the class. Literally they'll read one sentence out of that book and you'll be done. So rent your books if it's cheaper. Sometimes it's cheaper to just own them and then do whatever. But another tip that I have is, if you have an iPad or a computer, get the ebook. I was so against getting the ebooks for my classes, but honestly the ebook saved me a lot of reading unnecessary ass chapters. Like, you'll have a sheet of 10 questions that you need to answer and read the book. Just Google whatever the question is talking about and find it in your ebook, because honestly, like, it's gonna save you so much work in the long run. Because I was in the library reading like literally 20 pages for each class like every week, and it's like, I'm just going to get the ebook and just Google it, and baby, how you think I got an A? Now you do need to try to retain some of that information, because you know they like to do the pop quiz thing, which is how I got a C in one of my classes. But baby, I still passed. Look at me now, graduated as 2020. Yeah, then it's also easier to just take the easy classes so that you do not get overwhelmed your first semester. All right, number 10, the final thing on my list is go to Freshman Connection. If you are a freshman, go, because 8 times out of 10 your roommate is not gonna go, and that gives you more time to just like set up your room how you want it. It gives you like an extra week to like get used to being at college before you start classes. It's a grace period to like learn where your classes are, like see who you want to be friends with. Literally all my friends I have met at a Freshman Connection, and I don't really have a lot of college friends from my first college. I got like a good 10 people. Half of them don't even live in the US, but they went to Freshman Connection, and that's how I met my friends who taught me, like, you know, how to say curse words in Spanish and things like that. So go to Freshman Connection, learn where the buildings are, learn about your college, and learn if you actually want to be there. Do not go to a college because your counselor told you to go there, because, oh, we're gonna find a way to afford it. Go wherever the hell you want to go, because it's like, it's your life. I don't get why they don't understand that. Like, yeah, it's your life. So that's all I have for this video. I hope that you guys took away something. I tried to make it different than the other videos where they tell you, oh, you know, go to college, make friends. They don't tell you how to sneak your car on campus, because I had to figure that out myself. They don't tell you take all the easier classes first. But I just want to keep it real with you guys from some things that people never told me. So if you want to see more videos of me, or if you want to see videos of Milo, if you thumbs up if you like dogs. If not, you're going to hell. 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 Bye guys.
Peace.